The Penguin never seems to disappoint.
Mm-mm.
This is episode 4 we're in now. And this is an episode that really did not focus on Oswald at all.
Yep.
This and let me tell you, people, this is how you tell a good story. You see Oswald in just a small handful of scenes at the beginning of the episode. After that, it's all Sofia Falcone. And you can't blame her for what she did. You cannot blame her for 1 ounce of what she did. Shout out to Mark Strong, who plays a younger version of Carmine Falcone, who was actually previously played by I can't remember the actor's name right now. Thank you, John Turturro, in the Batman film. But he plays it so well that you don't really pay that much attention unless you have a keen eye. You're just like, oh yeah, that's Mark Strong. Oh, he's playing Carmine. Okay, whatever. And yeah, you're right. Justice for Sofia Falcone, because you can she was the straight arrow. She was helping women who needed help and everything else. She had a whole thing set up, and then a reporter comes to her and wants to talk to her about there's some things happening. Some women are committing suicide and everything else. And here we are. Falcons aren't supposed to talk to reporters because it's Gotham, and you already know what that's all about. There's always some kind of damage somewhere. Carmine set her ass up, your own daughter, and set her up for failure. She didn't know what was going on, and they messed her up. And
Wow.
it's foul. Especially if you've seen the Batman, then you see, you're just like, oh, it's always been Carmine. It's always been Carmine. And I can't blame Sofia for going the route she did, because they've been trying to force her out for the longest. Oh, we're going to send you off to Italy in a couple weeks. We want you out the way. You're a distraction. You're a girl. You're crazy. You're this. And it's none of those things. She's just out of pocket. Or they're out of pocket. And so they wanted crazy.
They got crazy.
They got crazy. They got crazy. That's what they get. They wanted crazy. They got crazy. Except for the baby cousin. Except for the little cousin. She's like, she ain't got nothing to do with the drama that's going on in this family. I'm going to take her in the greenhouse, and she's going to have all the cake she wants. I'm going to take care of the rest of these bastards and take them out.
I thought she was gonna call in a hitman or something, but that was a
liked
great
it.
way to do it.
Yep.
But I've been saying
very cutesy, very demure.
There's that damn word again.
Tell him, Kira. Yeah, get in there, get them likes up. Quit playing, y'all. Quit
I've been
playing.
saying since the first episode, first time we met her, even if she didn't do anything, you don't go into Arkham sane and come out the same way, especially if you weren't supposed to be there in the first place. And it was one of the doctors, the
Rush,
the pusher dude from Luke Cage.
He was actually trying to help her.
That was Rush.
Yeah, I was like, I know I've seen this face somewhere.
Yeah, he was actually trying to help her. It was nothing.
I ain't gonna hold you. I actually thought that he was gonna try to rape her. To be honest with you. Like just the way he was acting in the beginning, I was like, "Oh, he's giving creep vibes."
Yeah.
The fact that they put her through so much but didn't go that route, I kind of appreciate. Like,
agreed.
Yeah.
Even then, when they let the homegirl walk free without chains, I'm like, so we all just gonna sit here and let this happen? Because I'll fight back. I'm not gonna just get my ass in front of the whole cafeteria on day one.
10 years. She was only supposed to be there for a few months, and he kept her in there for 10 years.
They drove that woman crazy.
Sure did.
They pushed her to the edge.
They got what they deserved.
So, and then finding out that everybody who's been trying to ship her off all wrote letters to basically keep her in there the entire time. So it's literally pretty much everyone's fault that she stayed that long.
Yep.
Yeah, Dad set it up. He pulled the strings. He said, "Yeah, we got to keep her in there." all to keep the heat off of him, and
he pulled them quick. I mean, even at home, she didn't even get home from the party of when she confronted him and she got arrested. Like she pulled them quick.
She was like, the minute he found out we don't talk to reporters, it was over. The buttons were already being pushed. He already knew what he was going to do. And I'm like, dude, you're a bastard for real. Like, for real. So, what did you think about it, Lainey?
Oh man, I mean, first off, the writing made you feel it more than anything. And I don't know the girl's name because I just kind of knew her from How You Met Your Mother, How I Met My Mother. But that actress, we always talk about Colin Farrell needing to get an Emmy. She's got to be on the other side of that as a supporting actress, because
I
if
say
she
that
didn't win that right now in that episode, I don't know what will get her to that. Because between that writing and between the way that she portrayed the downfall, like I like how Tafari was like, you know what, I would have fought back. I don't think she knew how to. You know what I mean? And the fact that she didn't fight back,
Kristen Milani.
There you go. You just kind of saw it just creep until then when she just killed Mags. I was like, okay, you got it. You got it.
I was like, you got the one that wasn't even bugging you like that. That wasn't even threatening you. You went after the other one.
Well, she thought that she might have been a plan. So
yeah. At that point, they were pushing her that way though. They were just like,
you had no lose at that point.
Yeah. She was like, and she kept saying when she did the deed, she was like, I'm innocent. I'm like, unfortunately, not anymore.
Who cares?
I don't know what to tell you, sweetheart. You're not the innocent one now, because now you knock somebody off while in custody, and that can't help your case any now. It's like they put you in the craziest, unproductive place in the city, because let's face it, Arkham is worthless.
Gee, whatever gives you that idea.
Arkham is the worst mental hospital I've never seen. I'm like, everybody's inept. Like the guards is like the guards is like, look
the other way.
They just paid to look. Doctors is like, hey, we can do whatever we want. It was like, and get paid for it. Yeah, you're right. You said, yeah, she was locked up. She was locked up forever. Daddy took away the due process quick. He did.
And the family got what they deserved when she got her. There wasn't no playing around.
So what you think? What you think, maybe?
I enjoyed this one. It's always good to have a background story on why a character goes awry or why they have the motivation to do what they do. And she fascinated me from the beginning because you could just tell there was so much in her box, but you couldn't quite tell what it was. And I think what she did with Gia just shows that she still has a heart. She is not about...
She's not crazy.
No, she's not insane. It's all just mass hysteria and total destruction. She's like, no, there are a couple who had nothing to do with it. Well, one, and that was Gia. And everybody else like, yeah, I'm not even going to kill you quickly. You don't deserve that. I'm going to let it be slow and easy. So the only two that got spared were Vidi and Gia. Vidi was like, bring your ass. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming. Okay.
He said, Bama said, how is Arkham still in business? Here's the thing about Gotham.
Government contracts.
Literally.
All in Donald Trump.
Arkham is so deep embedded in just crime that it doesn't matter what Batman does. It just, like, I get he's fighting an uphill battle. His heart's in the right place when it comes to that, but it is so deep rooted past his own parents. It's deep. It's such a deep rooted cesspool. Like,
it kind of goes along the same lines of why is Joker still around? Because as much as you want him to go bye-bye, he's an integral part of the story. Arkham is an integral part of the setting. It is Gotham in its own way. It is a small version of Gotham because you have your heroes inside, but you also have your villains and you got your rogues gallery. So in actuality, when you look at the inner workings of Arkham Horror, you are literally seeing Gotham in itself in just a smaller frame.
Yeah. It's sort of like that's the normalcy of it all. That's the normal. It's like, you hear those speeches Batman saying, oh, they're the poison of Gotham, and they're like, no, actually, you're considering on Gotham's side of it, you're the poison. Because all of this other stuff, clowns running rampant, people gassing everybody, and that's normal for them.
He likes riddles. He's a bird.
Yeah, like you're the one that's out of place. So you're right, Navy. I think that the hospital is just like, hey, we can contain just enough, because if we can't let it all out, because then it's complete chaos. It's like, just randomly here and there,
it's like a diorama of Gotham, literally. A diorama.
So I'm glad you said this. Now, Bruce Wayne could use money to fix Gotham. He does, but he tries. Those who are lower and destitute, hurting for jobs, he gives them jobs. He has all these programs. However, once again, uphill battle, because you might have this. Hey, this is Gotham Hospital. This is Gotham University. They might have these great programs, but who are they really working for? The people that's behind these big corporations and these big businesses and everything else. Who are they actually working for? That money's. Bruce is like, yeah, I got this funding to help, kids who are orphaned. We got this money over here to help people get jobs who are just getting out of prison. We got this money over here for the guy whose neck I just chopped, and now I have to make sure he can get health insurance. So he's pumping money in the right places, but he's only one man. Like, meanwhile, across the pond, over at Metropolis, Lex is like, as crooked as I am, I hate going to that city. Lex hates going to Gotham. He knows it's dirty. He's like, look, at least I have a way of covering. At least it's under one umbrella with me, and I do my dealings on the side, and they don't know about it. It doesn't affect everything else. I just want the big blue Boy Scout. That's it. But yeah, it's Gotham something else. The cinematography, and if I'm taking a wild guess here, but the people who are doing the cinematography got to be the same people who did the movie, because at least these shots they take are quite beautiful. The contrast when they're like when they show Penguin in the club, and you got all the light. That's the most light you ever see. That's like as far as brightness, that's the most you ever see is when they're in the club setting. Other than that, like it's this dull.
Can I say that I kept looking at Victor. I was like, why does Victor look familiar? He was Alex Wilder in The Runaways. Oh my gosh. Yo. I was like, why did it is bugging me. And then when I found out, I said, okay, I fucks with you. Because he was my favorite in the whole show. He was trying to keep them together. I love it.
He almost didn't even age. He still absolutely.
He got taller. It's like he got taller.
He's drinking the California water, is what it is.
Oh,
Shoyo, don't do that.
Come on, Shoyo.
Shoyo, don't do that. You know that water's got something in it. Don't do it. That's why you know.
Mal says Gotham is a cursed town like Sunnydale and Hawkins, Indiana.
Yep. Nailed it.
Which is why Sunnydale is no longer on the map.
Nailed it.
Hawkins, Indiana, according to the last season we've seen, might as well not be on the map.
It's so sad being from Indiana. Every time I see any type of science fiction, fantasy, or horror setting, it's a town in Indiana. I'm like, damn it, pick another state. Go to Nebraska. Bad. They got all that field. Use them.
Not Nebraska, not the Cornhuskers.
Use Wyoming. Nobody goes there.
I don't feel bad. They keep saying that they keep saying there's a hellmouth here in Cleveland, and I said, well, that explains quite a bit. So
I just think Texas is pissed off all the ancestors. We can't get a breeze through this bitch. Like not a gust of wind from a hurricane. It went up and then hit a hard left turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in Injustice he has, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Derry, Maine. Christy in Derry, Maine.
Oh, forgot about Maine. Everybody forgets about Maine. Maine, New Hampshire, the Dakotas.
Oh, I got a new job up in Maine. Oh, you did? Yeah, working at the factory in Derry. I'm good. I'm out.
Pennywise.
Are you collecting lobsters or something? I don't want to hear it.
He's like, oh, it's a nice, quaint, quiet town. Yeah, because there's nobody alive.
When it rains, go in your house.
Exactly.
That's all I can say.
So it stands the question that this is a show that very much 4 episodes in and hasn't missed a beat. And the fact that they can take the focus off the main character and put it on another character and it still flows, that's good writing.
Yep.
That's good writing. Like you get the beginning, and before you know it, you realize Oswald's hardly even in this episode. You're just like, oh, wait a minute.
But even with the little bits that he is in, gives you so much. Like you see the budget, the blooming of him and Sofia's relationship. You see even how he got on Falcone's good side. Even just these little tidbits that they give you a lot more for the character as to how he is and why he is the way he is.
Yeah.
Even the way they started, like I was confused actually. When they started, I was like, wait a minute, we didn't see this in the last episode.
That's what I said. I was like, how much got said between them jumping out the car?
That Kira.
Mm-hmm.
That part.
Mm-hmm.
Look, a woman at the center of it all, and folks were captivated. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, I said that last episode. How much got said between the initial jumping out the car and them being on their knees? And now that we're hearing all of it, it's smooth talk when he can pull it off, and then he just goes into full sleazeball with his back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
she actually looked genuinely surprised. Like I kind of thought that she was really keeping him R's bay, but she looked genuinely surprised.
I don't
because look at how she looked at her whole family. We know why she looks at her family the way she does now, because they did this to her and she thought she had somebody.
True. Yeah, like she looked at Oswald when he did that confession. She's looking at him like it's not surprise. It's more like you did it again. Like I was like, I'm watching you and you did it again. Like and then to see Rush come through and she's like, who does she trust? Rush. That's about it. That's about it. Like you can't trust anybody else. You know, it's like when your entire family sold you up the river, except for your brother. Take the back. Your brother was backing you. But you know, it's only so much power he had because he was a drug addict. You know, so how much power did he really have?
Right, and they make him seem like the scumbag. When the first episode, the way he was talking to Oz, then you find out he's really the only person that actually cared.
Yeah.
Kira says she don't trust Rush. She trusts that little girl, and that's it.
Listen, that little girl just might end up to be old girl from Tarantino's movies. Don't play. She's gonna take revenge on Falcone for that one.
So yeah, it's a vicious cycle. But once again, fantastic episode. Please keep this happy energy. We talked about it on the show before of seeing like this is the type of storytelling we want to see. It doesn't have to be with every character and all the time, but this is a prime example of when you have good writing, everything will fall into place. You have your writing is fantastic. Your cinematography is fantastic. Your makeup team is fantastic. The actors you have on board are killing it.
Shout out to DC Comics for finally decide to take a chance and not put out the same garbage that they had been before. They're stepping back and they're taking their time to tell stories of characters that are long standing and have got fandoms. But after a while, fans are like, well, why don't we see it from a different perspective along the same lines? You got the Penguin. Yeah. So I'm really curious to see what else they do. I'm looking forward to it.
You can do a Superman type film where it's bright and vibrant and everything else, and you can still do a gritty noir crime thing. If they're not doing the GCPD series, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they're not.
But
they should.
They should, and at the same time, I'm glad they didn't, just to make sure not to oversaturate it. But they should. I still think they should in some form later on down the line. Like you gotta touch it. Somebody is agreeing with me. I don't know who it is.
Sorry.
Oh, it's lightning. Oh wait, she's doing it from her phone. That's why.
Hi, you reached the residence of Geek by Heart. Sorry, we're not here to take your call. But if you leave your name, number, and a brief message, we're still going to ignore you. Thank you so much.
No, I don't know how to actually turn that off in my laptop because the phone goes to the laptop. That's why.
Just take a hammer.
Oh my!
What does these MacBooks cost?
Pay for my new my new Pro. Okay, thanks.
So did Carmine just move on to choking people out after this series? Because like, did he just stop his hanging activities and just decide to get his hands dirty? Because
Carmine, that's a sickness that dude has.
Yeah, because he never admitted to hanging everybody, but they suddenly stopped apparently after this. But then went on to
that you think of, that you know of.
Right. Exactly. And then went on to choke out Selena's homegirl and her mom, and then attempt on Selena in the Batman film.
Yeah, that he didn't just stop. We just don't know about. We just don't know what he did between that time.
We just moved on to excluding the rope. Got it.
Yeah, like we just don't know.
Vacation.
Yeah, we don't know who else has been in between that time, and so yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like Kira says, she doesn't think he did the wife in, which could still be a possibility.
You know what? I'm inclined to agree, and I'm gonna say why. Considering the fact that he sold his daughter up the river like he did, I would expect that he's probably pushed his wife. He gaslit his wife the same way.
I mean, wait a minute. I think they have said at the very least he did do Selena's mom, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did.
Then it is pretty much assumed that he did some of the other girls at the not the bar. You know what I'm talking about?
The 44 below.
Not the mom.
Yeah.
Like, then who would he be covering for then? Because you saying
the way they work, they look like they cover for each other.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's definitely worth another watch, and just because just the small little details outside of that, just visually and the acting, and like I was explaining to my wife, I said it is still amazing to me watching Colin Farrell, and I'm like, I don't see it. It's just like Bradley Cooper doing Rocket Raccoon's voice. I'm like, he's right in my face and he's doing a voice.
It's the eyes. That's the only thing I can see.
So she says because Carmine was surprised when he walked in on her too. I think her mom hung herself because of all the cheating and abuse.
So you're saying that could have been the catalyst for him to become the hangman?
Mm-hmm.
Possibly he loved his wife.
I still feel like he might have killed.
He loved his wife. The side chicks, hoes, and bottom bitches, not so much.
Wow.
That's why I think he killed her.
Okay, Kane. Okay,
I would not
Kane.
be surprised to find out there's two people that have been doing this just not coincidentally, but one is taking note from the other, not like they're in on it at the same thing. I thought it might have been somebody doing it on purpose to try and set the family up, not just the way it went initially, because shock therapy even allowed these days?
Supposedly, I thought it is.
maybe not in that form, but this is Arkham Asylum we're talking about.
They gave her a football mouthpiece. They gave her a football mouthpiece that was like clear.
Anytime I hear bottom bitch, I think of Hot Damn I Rock when he came out that video years ago talking about the bottom bitch theory. Good gosh, yo, that was a staple on YouTube.
Man.
I mean, we might as well let's go back to HBO and talk about Hunter's Point because that's what I'm